Hello students. In this video, we're going to show you how to solve equations that involve brackets. Now, you haven't done it before, so here's a nice little tip for solving problems that you haven't seen before, or of a type you haven't seen before. And that is, if you have such a problem in front of you, try to turn it into a problem you have seen before, and then solve it using the techniques you've learned to solve that. So let's go ahead and show you what I mean. Okay, if you look at that equation in the upper left, here I've got some brackets in my equation. So I've never come across that before. Now, another little trick is follow your nose. So if you're not too sure what to do, well, one thing you can do with brackets is you can expand them. So let's just try that and see what happens. So we get 2y plus 8 equals 20. And there's an equation. I have done ones like that before, so now I know what to do. I subtract 8 from both sides, leaving just 2y on the left, and 20 take 8 is 12. Divide both sides by 2, and it looks like my answer is y equals 6. Quick check, 6 plus 4 is 10, 2 times 10 is 20, and it does check. Okay, we'll try the same technique on this one. We'll also use the technique of changing subtract 2p into adding negative 2p. I like to put my little arcs there to remind myself I multiply the 3 by both terms inside the brackets. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And once again, I've turned that equation into one that I have seen before. So negative 6p plus 9. I can subtract the 9 from both sides using AMIB. That leaves me with negative 6p equals 7 take 9 is negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 6. And it looks like my answer is negative 2 over negative 6. Well, 2 over 6 is 1/3. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Now I can check this by using my calculator and plugging it back into there. Or the other way to check it is to just double check all the steps. So subtract 9 from both sides. Yep, that's correct. Divide both sides by negative 6. Okay, so there we go. Now I'd like you to try 2 questions similar to that. Okay, welcome back, students. Well, put the little arcs in to do the expanding. That's a way to remind yourself that you multiply the 5 by all of the brackets. Oops. 5 times 2h is 10h. 5 times 2 is 10. Add 10 to both sides. Minus 10 plus 10 disappears or goes to 0. That leaves 10h equals 40. And I think I'll start doing these in my head, just these one-step ones at the end. 10 times 4 is 40, so h must be 4. So I'll just save a little bit of setting out now. Quick check. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Yep, it sure does check out. Okay, same idea here, but first I'm going to change subtract to plus negative. Draw the arcs in. 4 times 6 is 24. Plus 4 times negative 3 is negative 12m. And I've got a negative on the right-hand side. That shouldn't cause any real problems. Negative 12m plus 24, so I take away the 24 to start with. Oops, can't write. Take away the 24 to start with. That leaves me with just my negative 12m on the left. Negative 5 subtract 24 is negative 29. Divide both sides by negative 12. And I'm left with m equals, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. There's no common factors of 29 and 12 except for 1. So I'll just leave it at 29 on 12. So again, I can check it by substituting using a calculator, putting that number back in place of m, or doing it by just double checking all my steps. So that's how we solve equations involving brackets.